Hi there, welcome to another informative show. This is Jamaica Magazine and I'm Adrian Atkinson. We take you along a tour of Port Royal, seeing the sights of the historic city through the eyes of visitors. We also journey to St. Elizabeth to learn about the Black River Morass. Thanks for joining us. It all unfolds right now.
Oh, what kind of ESN paper this?
I'm a bird certificate.
You what?
Bird certificate.
Hold on. Let me help you.
Where are you?
Me apply for your birth certificate online on the RGD website. You lucky things improve and get easy now. This didn't have any security feature. All your granny could have write this.
Transformation is happening across the public sector. Many services are now available online. We are building a better public service for all. Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation Unit.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, January 28. Government will be pumping an additional $60 million into cleaning up communities to control the mosquito population and reduce the spread of dengue fever. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement on the weekend during the National Dengue Cleanup. He said the funds would be disbursed to each constituency for environmental maintenance.
So we're giving each constituency now an additional $500,000. And then we're going to use some amount directly by the National Solid Waste to target some specific areas.
Prime Minister Holness pointed out that the Health Ministry had allocated a further $50 million to assist councillors with their vector control programs. The funds will be channeled through the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development.
The strategy for dealing with these kinds of environmentally related diseases is the public health route, the environmental management route. Critical to the environmental management is to get every single Jamaican to become environmentally conscious.
The theme of the National Dengue Cleanup, Mosquito Wanted Dead, Not Alive, will be maintained up to Labor Day in May. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health and Wellness's Public Health Department is now in receipt of 40 vector control vehicles. Worth $400 million, the fleet is equipped with vector control tools such as fogging equipment. The vehicles will be distributed to the 4 regional health authorities.
Today represents another tangible manifestation of the renewal of public health in Jamaica. This government is on a mission to renew, to rebuild, and to make more effective our public health infrastructure.
In the meantime, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Cabinet will be briefed on the island's preparedness to handle any cases of the novel coronavirus, which originated in China.
When it comes to health threats, the government is taking no chance. We're taking no risk. We're trying to be fully prepared. So we're not just investing in the fleets here. We're also going to be doing major upgrades and in some cases building new hospital facilities.
In other news, the Jamaican-based Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center has donated $100,000 to the Bahamas to assist with hurricane relief. The funds were handed over last Tuesday by Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett while he was attending the Caribbean Travel Marketplace in the Bahamas. The money is to help the Bahamas deal with the impact of Hurricane Dorian last year, as well as for the development of the Disaster Risk Resilience and Readiness Assessment in the Caribbean Tourism Sector Study. The donation was drawn from the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center's Relief Fund for supporting tourism-ravaged economies impacted by disruptions, including natural disasters and pandemics. Category 5 Hurricane Dorian ravaged the Bahamas last October, causing severe flooding and destruction, especially in the Abaco and Grand Bahama Islands. 29 days of diverse island-wide activities are lined up for this year's staging of Reggae Month in February under the theme Come Catch the Rhythm. Flagship activities include Children of the Icons and Emerging Artists Series, as well as reggae films in the park and the Jaria Honors Awards. Culture and Entertainment Minister Olivia Grange says new on the agenda is an exhibition titled Jamaica, Jamaica. It's to be mounted at the National Gallery on February 2 and remain open for 6 months.
Each staging of Jamaica will have unique artifacts that have not been seen at each exhibition. So that is something that will be very exciting and that will attract international attention.
Minister Grange was speaking at a JI's think tank on Friday. She says another new and exciting feature is Echoes of the Sound System.
For the first time, we are putting a bank of sound systems in the indoor center and the National Arena. And we are calling that Echoes of Sound System. Now, you know, the sound system was at the base and the roots of the music, where when we could not promote live music, we were able to use the sound system to build a vibe in the dance hall. And on that, we built the whole evolution of our music. So, sound system Echoes will be bringing the old and the new.
The event is slated for February 15 and will run from early evening until morning. Still on Reggae Month, an app is now activated to keep reggae lovers abreast of events throughout the period. The Ministries of Entertainment and Tourism collaborated to develop the new interactive app, which is available for download on Android and iOS devices.
It carries information on all the events, and it also provides an opportunity for promoters and other entities, as well as individuals, if they are promoting an event for Reggae Month, they can have access to this app and be able to get their activity also promoted.
To download the app, persons can search the words Reggae Month Jamaica in the Google Play or App Store. Reggae Month is commemorated annually in the month of February and is being organized by the Ministries of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport and Tourism in collaboration with several stakeholders. And finally, 10,000 revelers and about 25,000 spectators are estimated to participate in this year's staging of Carnival in Jamaica. This will be an increase of 2018's figures of about 6,000 revelers and approximately 15,000 spectators. Carnival in Jamaica will culminate with a road march on Sunday, April 19. Culture Minister Olivia Grange says various government bodies continue to work with private entities to ensure the efficient and successful staging of Carnival in Jamaica.
Carnival in Jamaica offers employment to the creatives, to artists, entertainers, bands, sound and light technicians, videographers, photographers, costume designers, etc. And so it's not just about fun, but it's also about creating employment.
Minister Grange was speaking at the recent 2020 launch of Carnival in Jamaica held at the AC Hotel by Marriott in Kingston. Through the Ministries of Culture and Tourism, in 2017, a partnership was developed with the promoters and bands of Carnival in Jamaica. So far, approximately $10 million has been allocated to the Culture Ministry to advance cultural entertainment products. And that's it for JI's News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Last week, Monday, was a historic moment for the people of Port Royal. The Forbidden City welcomed its first cruise with more than 2,000 persons on board. See now how the city was received by the cruise passengers.
The first cruise ship has arrived in Port Royal. Port Royal has now opened up to the world. This is a treasure, and it was a hidden treasure. Jamaica knew about it, but the world did not.
From that section there, going back to the Grand Port Royal Hotel that I showed you earlier, some 30 feet deep in the Caribbean Sea.
To see Port Royal as a cruise destination becoming a reality today, for me, is a great achievement. You know, Port Royal is a heritage site. It has a rich history. It has the history of pirates. It has the history of the West India Regiment. It has been nominated as a heritage site through UNESCO. What we did was to train artisans. So we conducted workshops in craft, in jewelry, in chasing, and a number of other, batik and a number of other such art forms. We have provided the skills that are necessary for the residents of Port Royal to maximize the benefits coming out of the cruise line coming to Port Royal.
We love it. We love the people here.
I'm loving it, yes. We've not even stepped out of this bit of it and we've had a lovely time. The singing and the dancing was just brilliant, so high energy and just made us all feel really happy.
The first call. So we've made history, guys. We've made history. Amazing. What a lovely welcome. There were tours outside of Port Royal and those tours went very, very well. It has gone well. And so when we get to the official opening of the cruise line operation coming to Port Royal, it will be a very exciting and fantastic attraction.
If you've ever wondered what your property taxes are used for, wonder no more. Your property taxes provide revenue for the provision of public and community amenities throughout Jamaica, which are delivered by local government officials. When you pay your property taxes, you aid with the maintenance and expansion of our street lighting to ensure you are not walking in the dark at nights, the collection and disposal of solid waste to prevent the pileup of garbage in communities, the improvement of our community infrastructure, and repairs to fire stations and service vehicles, along with rehabilitation of our roads. Pay your property taxes online, in line or via mobile tax units and avoid being sought by the government. For more information, visit the Tax Administration website at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 876-902-9463.
From Port Royal, we journey to St. Elizabeth, specifically Black River. There, we will learn how the country's ecosystem is being preserved through the flourishing morass in the capital.
The Black River Morass is actually the largest wetland area in Jamaica. The upper morass was used for planting rice some years ago. That has ceased, and as a result, we have lost that area. But the lower morass is still here, and it provides not just a safari boat tour, but shrimping, fishing, and there's a lot of bird life still in the lower morass. It has been declared a wetland of international importance, a Ramsar site.
The Black River Morass is home to hundreds of crocodiles, vegetation, and other aquatic animals. Through guided tours offered along the river, you can glide upstream to learn more about the wetlands and all its inhabitants.
Welcome on board the Safari Diva and welcome to the Black River Safari. My name is Roger and I'll be your captain and also your tour guide. Our trip will take us approximately 4 kilometers upstream, during which I'll show you some birds, wetland vegetation, and some of our very friendly crocodiles. Presently, we're on the Black River, and this is Jamaica's longest navigable river. It is 44 miles long, about 70 kilometers. Well, surrounding us, we have over 21,000 acres of swamp, and this is the largest wetlands in the Caribbean. It is also home for over 65 different species of birds. 17 years ago, it was estimated there was a little bit over 100 crocodiles living within the area. And since then, their number have increased as they are on the endangered species list. They were once hunted for their skin to make a nice shoes or a good handbag. They are protected. No hunting of crocodiles in Jamaica. Well, they are part of our heritage. They're on our coat of arms with the crocodiles at the top, Indians at the side.
Unlike what we may believe in Jamaica, our crocodile here, Crocodilus acutus, is one of the most docile of the crocodilian species. The thing about it is that they help to cull the fish population, the animals, the fish that are diseased or the fish that are dead, they will eat them and so on. So that it's well worth having those crocodiles here within our wetland areas.
These birds you are looking at, they are called egret, commonly known as galling. The reason for the birds to nest in this location, behind us, this is our local fish market. So once those small boat comes from sea, they'll have some food to get. In the river, we can catch big fish like tarpon. Those can get up to 200 pounds. And snook, which is a very good eating fish, can get up to 50 pounds. And the African perch, mullet, snapper, several different types. It's very good for fishing. So by the shallow edge of the river, it is also the main habitat for our freshwater shrimp. This little device I have here, this is called a shrimp trap. It is made from the bamboo plant. We'll use for bait roasted coconut, oranges, or even a piece of chicken. Now once the shrimp goes in, it's difficult for them to go out. The conical shape helps to keep them in. So we'll just hold it and twist it. It opens up so we can shake them out. It's actually very simple, but it is effective. The design came from West Africa over 200 years ago, and it is still used today. The vegetation or trees, they are called mangrove, which we have two types of mangroves tree, white and red. White mangrove, small leaves, and they are brighter in color. Red mangrove have much bigger leaves and also have those aerial root that goes into the water. It takes up all the minerals and nutrients for the tree. This section of the river we're entering, we call here Mangrove Avenue, as it forms a canopy similar to our Bamboo Avenue. These are all red mangrove trees, the ones that have the roots going into the water. In the early 1900s, the bark or skin of red mangrove was used for making a type of dye which we call tannin.
Did you know that the water in the Black River is actually clear? The river got its name due to the dark shade created by the presence of peat soil on the riverbed.
Peat soil, which is at the bed of the river, that is giving off the dark reflection. It also has its advantage and its disadvantage. The advantage, whenever time we have heavy rainfall or during hurricane, the soil, it acts as a sponge which absorbs the excess water. So we have no flooding activity within the area. However, when the water level gets too low, the peat soil, it gives off the methane gas, and with the help of sunlight, it will ignite.
There are many different types of wetlands. In Jamaica, the most common wetlands are coastal mangroves, morasses, lakes, and ponds. For more information on the Black River Morass and all the other wetland areas in Jamaica, visit the National Environment and Planning Agency's website at www.nepa.gov.jm.
Motorists, when driving on the road, here are some simple reminders. Look out for and extend courtesy to all road users. Give plenty of room to pedestrians, especially in wet weather. Drive slowly. No bother wet them up. Slow down when approaching a pedestrian crossing or school, and always be prepared to stop. Remember, a school zone is a 30-kilometer zone. Cut your speed. Drivers of large and slow-moving vehicles should always keep in the far left hand of a dual carriageway. Keep it simple. Drive left and pass right. These are just simple reminders of your road duties. Drive safely.
Up next, a roundup of the activities by Prime Minister Andrew Holness during the past week.
Port Royal welcomes cruise ship. Government considers performance-based pay for ministers, and Trans-Jamaica Highway initial public offer to come on stream by February. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan.
On the advice of the Chief of Defence Staff and the Commissioner of Police, I have advised and petitioned His Excellency the Governor General to declare a state of public emergency in the Kingston Eastern Police Division.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness made that announcement on Sunday in a move to curtail rising violence in the area. The Kingston Eastern State of Public Emergency will be in place for 14 days. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson says there are 32 criminal gangs in the police division, with 16 currently engaged in violent conflicts. He adds that there are 33 wanted persons and 34 violence producers in Kingston Eastern. Since the start of the year, the police division has recorded 11 murders, a sharp increase of the 3 committed in the same period last year. In 2019, Kingston Eastern saw a 16% increase in murders and a 49% hike in shootings, with 67% of shootings related to gang activity. On Saturday, the Prime Minister joined efforts to search for and destroy mosquito breeding sites on the island. The National Dengue Cleanup under the theme Mosquito Wanted Dead Not Alive was spearheaded by the Ministries of Health, Culture and Local Government. The Prime Minister was on hand for cleanup efforts in St. Andrews South, Northeast St. Andrew and Southeast Clarendon. While reiterating government's commitment to a healthy Jamaica, he urged citizens to not block or harm community health workers who are doing inspections.
We must enforce the laws very strongly on this matter, because it is not in the public's interest for someone in their private yard to be breeding mosquitoes. And when you come to talk to them, they tell you can't come in my yard and you can't tell me what to do about this. That can't work.
Approximately $2.6 billion has been spent on vector control efforts, including the acquisition of new vehicles, fogging and hiring vector control workers. An additional $189 million has been set aside for members of parliament to deal with mosquito breeding sites. Prime Minister Holness also revealed that members of parliament would each receive an additional $500,000 to target bulky waste removal. Another $50 million will go to councillors in the municipal corporations to assist with ridding the country of mosquito-borne illnesses.
And it doesn't stop when this exercise stops. Every one of you has a duty and responsibility to ensure that your little area and your community is clean and free of anything that could aid in the breeding of mosquitoes that carry the dengue virus. Secretary Pompeo, I thank you for being with us today. I certainly value our fruitful and productive dialogue and look forward to the continued robust partnership between Jamaica and the United States.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness during a press conference Wednesday following bilateral talks with U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Mr. Holness and Mr. Pompeo pledged continued partnership in the areas of security, energy, trade, investments, the environment, and greater economic and social development. Mr. Pompeo's two-day visit formed part of efforts to build stronger ties with Jamaica and the Caribbean region. And following Wednesday morning's press conference, Mr. Holness met with Haiti's Minister of Foreign Affairs. The two pledged to strengthen bilateral and regional cooperation. Earlier in the week, the Prime Minister announced plans to continue the state's heavy investment in infrastructure. At Tuesday's launch of the 4th Annual Caribbean Infrastructure Forum, Mr. Holness said government would be focusing on the Greater Infrastructure Development Project, GIDP. It's a successor program to two Chinese-funded projects which developed roads, buildings, bridges, and other infrastructure across the island. According to the Prime Minister, the programs allowed the country to increase its growth prospects while lowering its debt-to-GDP ratio.
We're going to be doing even more connectivity in terms of our roads. We're going to be building bypasses, extending our highways, widening other roads. So effectively what will happen is that you will have ease of travel in Jamaica.
Mr. Holness also revealed plans to invest in technology-driven infrastructure development in Port Royal and the reintroduction of a lengthman program. At Port Royal, Mr. Holness says a seawall will be built, foundations will be raised, and houses in at-risk areas will be removed. Participants in the lengthman program will be given a smart device to record information on roads across the island.
That will give us a pool of data from which we can do our data mining and analytics to help us to drive our budget, to direct which roads really need to be repaired, which drains and gullies really need attention. And that is a smarter way of addressing the resilience of your built and natural environment.
Tuesday night, the Prime Minister was at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel for the 15th Jamaica Stock Exchange Regional Conference on Investments and the Capital Markets. He used the opportunity to announce that the initial public offer for Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited could start next month. NCB Capital Markets Limited is the leader organizer for the undertaking, which was first revealed last October. The sale of government's shares in the company, which operates the east-to-west segment of Highway 2000, is part of efforts to fully utilize the state's assets. The day before, Mr. Holness was at Port Royal to welcome the community's first cruise ship, the Marella Discovery II. When the ship docked around 8 o'clock Monday morning, the Prime Minister greeted the 2,000 passengers and crew. On Thursday, the Prime Minister chaired the annual General Staff meeting of the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Mr. Holness said the state was looking to introduce performance-based pay for ministers as part of efforts to transform the public sector. He said it would be similar to the one implemented in December 2019 for permanent secretaries.
We recognize that we have to have a mass implementation of performance-based systems in order to get the public sector to move much more quickly in achieving the objectives of policy.
Prime Minister Holness says the performance-based pay system will be introduced gradually to allow for public sector buy-in. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us again next time for more news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
We've come to the end of the show. Do catch us again tomorrow right here on this station. Another half hour of informative features await you. Until then, please send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at gis.gov.jm. You may also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.